Hi everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about mobile communication. Specifically we are going to discuss about 2G, that is the second generation of mobile, and GSM is one of the standard. So GSM is the 2G of mobile communication and GSM stands for Global System for Mobile Communication. And this is the old name for GSM, and this was founded in 1982, but later on they changed its name to this. So now this GSM stands for Global System for Mobile Communication. So anyway, in mobile communication, what happens, we use our mobile handset. So let me clear this. So we use our mobile set. So this is a mobile station, and generally we just call them mobile. So when we dial certain number, so first of all we get connected with a tower here. So let's say this is a tower. So first we get connected with this tower, and this tower will have certain antennas there, and on our mobile handset also we have certain antennas there. And now both of the antennas can send and receive the signals, and those signals are basically electromagnetic signals, are RF or radio frequency signals. And so this happens when we call from our mobile set to some other users. So first we get connected with a tower, and the tower will have certain antennas, and those antennas can radiate RF signals, and that RF signals can reach up to a certain point. So they can cover certain area, and the area covered by one tower is known as a cell. So let's say this is a cell. This is the area covered by one tower. And this is the formal definition for cell. So cell is a geographical area covered by one base station. So that can be by one base station, or that can be by one frequency, for instance. But let's keep it simple. So cell is a geographical area covered by one base station. And let's remove this. And now this tower may be serving some other users like this one. Also we can have some other users as well. So now this tower can have, or this tower has an associated entity, that is BTS. BTS stands for base transceiver station here. And this BTS consists of amplifier, and these amplifiers are there to strengthen the signal. So to give more power to the signal, to amplify the signals. And this BTS also performs some other signal processing things like for modulation, multiplexing, channel measurements, and power management. So these are some other things which are performed by this BTS. And then we also have another entity, that is TRX. So TRX stands for transceiver and receiver. So we have some elements here which are helping this antennas to radiate this mobile station itself. So this is a mobile, we generally call them mobile, but technical name in GSM they call it mobile station. And that mobile station itself consists of two parts. One part is known as mobile equipment. So that is the hardware device, the hardware we purchase, that is known as mobile equipment. And then we also have a SIM, SIM. So you see we purchase this SIM. That is a separate entity, but collectively this is known as mobile station in GSM system as per standard. Now every mobile equipment has as a hardware number, a number associated with that is written on that mobile. So that is International Mobile Equipment Identity. So that's a 15-digit number that is unique to each device. So each device has this IMEI number, and that number can be used for tracking. For example, if mobile is stolen, for example, in this case, maybe we can send a request to block that mobile equipment so that nobody can use it. So that's the IMEI number that is associated with the mobile equipment. And then we have SIM, that stands for Subscriber Identity Module, and that SIM holds information about the user. So for example, if I'm going to purchase services from some mobile operator, then my identity will be saved in this SIM. So this holds information like my information, my authentication will be handled, or that will be saved in this SIM, and some charging like how much balance I have, maybe how much money do I have in my package, so that will be stored in this SIM. And that SIM will also have certain storage, so that we can save some of our messages or something in this SIM. So collectively this is known as mobile station, but actually we have the mobile equipment and the SIM, and then this is used to connect us with the tower. And as we discussed that if we want to cover larger area, then we can have multiple towers. Like say we have one tower, one cell, and the second cell, and then the same way we can have multiple cells like here. So if you want to increase the area covered by that operator, or by the area covered by that service, so we keep replicating these towers and we keep replicating these cells. Yes, let's remove it. Now if we have multiple towers here, if we have multiple BTSs here, then we also have an entity that we call at base station controller, or BSC. The BSC is here to coordinate the communication between these different BTS, between these towers. So that's the base station controller. That base station controller is there to control and monitor BTS traffic. So this BTS 1, BTS, second BTS, maybe we can have third BTS, and they all will be controlled by this BSC, or the base station controller. And one important function which this BSC is going to do for us in this network is handover. So handover means, for example, in this network, in mobile network, or this is also known as cellular network, because area is divided into smaller cells. So in the cellular network, let's say there is one user who's sitting in a car, and when this user dialed a number, then at that time this user was connected with this certain base station like this one. And after a certain time this user moves, so it's driving, and it reaches at the boundary of these two cells. Now the question is that who will be serving at that particular time, or who will be serving when this user moves to other cell here. So one thing is that maybe the call will be disconnected and then will be reconnected with this tower. But now to avoid this, what happens? They perform handover. So user can freely move from one cell to other cell without noticing, and user's call will be forwarded to the second BTS, or to the second tower. So that process is known as handover. So the formal definition of handover is that this is a process of transferring a call from one channel to other, or from one tower to other, without being noticed by the user of the mobile services. So that is handover. That's important. We even don't notice it, and that thing is performed by this BSC, that is base station controller. Let's say we have a fixed telephone set. So fixed, maybe we call them landline numbers. So that's a landline number here. And if you are calling some landline number, so landline numbers are actually connected with telephone exchanges, and generally we call them PSTN. That stands for public switched telephone network, PSTN. So now to connect this PSTN with the base station controller, we need another entity, and that entity is known as mobile switching center. So this mobile switching center, on one hand this will be connected with base station controller, and the other hand this will be connected with the PSTN, and this PSTN is connected with our landline number to some fixed phone. Yeah. So now you can see that what the job of mobile switching center is. So mobile switching, so that's actually mobile services switching center, and this is going to perform switching to other mobile switching centers. So let's say We can also have some other mobile switching center, and that mobile switching or mobile services switching center may be operated by some other mobile operators. So now this mobile switching center can be connected with other mobile services switching center, and that will be connected with the base station controller, and that can also be connected with fixed networks like PSTN. So that's the mobile services switching center. And now, in addition to that, that mobile services switching center will also be connected with a database that is known as home location register. So that's kind of a book here. So that's the database. And in that database, it's known as home location register. So that database is used to store user information. So this is the user, let's say this user information such as its number. So we all have certain numbers we are dialing. So that's the mobile subscriber ISDN number. So ISDN, that is stored in home location register. And then we actually also subscribe for some services. For example, if we are moving or if we are going to some other country, we need to activate roaming, for example, so that we can use the same number in other countries. So if you are subscribing that service, so that service information will also be saved in this home location register. That yes, certain user, one specific user has subscribed for roaming. So that information will be saved here. And this home location register will also have this IMSI, International Mobile Subscriber Identity Number. So we will discuss about these numbers in details in some other video. But these are some of the numbers which are saved in home location register. And this home location register also saved information about the current location area of the user. So let's say user can be here, sometimes user can be somewhere else. And so maybe in the region of in somewhere region where some other mobile operator is offering the services, for example. So that's also save the information about current location area, and also about the roaming number, so mobile subscriber roaming number. And also like here, maybe if the user is somewhere else, then there is some other database which is VLR, visitor location register. So that current VLR information is also saved in this HLR. So that's actually a database or some bookkeeping, some register there. So that register is saving all this information. Now this mobile switching center also has some other database. That database is VLR, that stands for visitor location register. So visitor location register means like there is some user, mobile user, who might have services from some other mobile operator. Like in every country, we have multiple mobile operators. They offer different services. Maybe sometimes we have a SIM from one mobile operator, and then we go somewhere and we don't have the services from that mobile operator, but there are services from some other mobile operator. Then even then we will be offered the services because they have mutual agreement with each other, let's say. So in this case, we will be visitor in that area, so we will have some certain numbers. And so that information about visitors is saved in this VLR, visitor location register. So all important information needed for mobile users currently in the location area, that is associated to the mobile switching center. So that is the visitor location register who is visiting this. And mobile switching center also has a database that is known as EIR, that stands for Equipment Identity Register. And this is a register to save information about IMEI. So IMEI was International Mobile Equipment Identity. And for example, if we lose our mobile or our mobile is stolen, then we can complain it, and then these mobile operators can save information about that mobile. About that mobile means information about their hardware number, about their IMEI in somewhere in their database, and in that database there will be certain numbers who will be, let's say, blacklisted. They will not be offered any services, or there will be the database or the information about all those IMEI are the valid users, so that will be in white list. And maybe there will be some devices which will be malfunctioning, so those devices may be put in gray list. So that is the information about mobile equipments. So that's the equipment identity register. And this mobile switching center is also connected with authentication center. And authentication center is there to identify a user. So that is there to protect user identity and to encrypt the data which is being sent from user to other user. Encryption means to hide the data so that nobody can read it, to make it secure. So that's the job of authentication center. And then we also have a very important entity, that is OMC, and OMC stands for Operation and Maintenance Center. And this Operation and Maintenance Center is going to monitor the operation of all these entities. So if there is a problem in this tower, if there is a problem in BSC, or if there is a problem in this MSC, so that complete function will be monitored in this OMC, that stands for Operation and Maintenance Center. So that's used for also, not only for that, but this is also used for traffic monitoring. This stores the status report of all network entities. It means whether this is working fine or if there is some problem with any entity in this network. So that will be shown here, that will be monitored here. And then also have subscriber and security management information is saved here. And then also accounting and maybe billing information is also saved sometimes in this OMC. And generally these all entities has been divided in multiple sections. So the first part, so maybe first section or first part from this mobile station to this base station controller, the first part is known as radio subsystem. So that is RSS. That stands for radio subsystem. And this radio subsystem is used to establish and maintain radio signal between a user and rest of the system. So from here to here, this is known as radio subsystem. Let me clear it. And now we have this middle portion, middle section. So that is known as NSS. So that stands for network and switching subsystem. And the last one is known as OSS. I have a discussion on the next slide about NSS. And yes, there is also one associated term that is known as BSS. That is BSS. That stands for base station subsystem. So base station subsystem actually has one base station controller, and then base station controller might be controlling other towers here. So now the base station controller and these towers, so the combination of this is known as base station subsystem. And this base station subsystem also comes here in this subsection. Okay, so that is radios and subsystem. Okay, so let's see what we have, this network and switching subsystem. The network and switching subsystem is used for switching between wireless system and other system like PSTN. So you see here, this is a part of network and switching subsystem. So this is used to connect our wireless part with maybe other wireless part, and also with the wired part, which is actually with this fixed number or fixed network or landline number. So that's network and switching subsystem. And last one is the operation subsystem. So that is the combinations of job performed by equipment identity register, authentication center, and OMC, operation and maintenance center. That is collectively known as operation subsystem. So we discussed about GSM, that is the global system for mobile communication. We discussed its architecture, and there are many other things we can discuss about GSM, like its interfaces, modulation, multiple access techniques, but maybe we'll be discussing these all things in our future videos. So that's it for today. Hopefully this was a bit helpful. This was a bit lengthy, but yeah, maybe for some of you this may be helpful. And thank you very much for your time, and hope to see you in some other video.